the actor that plays Plutarch, that is, could pretty much be any age and any ethnicity, which is kind of cool because it really leaves this role open, which is nice. So, that being said, before we talk about actors, do any of you have any comments that you would like to make about what the actor who plays Plutarch will need to bring to the table? What kind of actor, what qualities does this actor need to possess in order to play Plutarch effectively? Does anyone have any thoughts on that?
I do.
I think the person would need to have a pretty fresh face so that they look like someone that's been pampered their entire life. That's about the only requirement for me.
Okay, so he shouldn't be like, like Edward James Olmos or someone like that.
Yeah, he looks pretty rugged.
Okay, so we like a fresh face. Rebekah, was that you who had a comment to make?
Yeah, I did. I was going to go less appearance and more what they have to bring to the character. Acting-wise, they really need to be a very charismatic person, because I always considered Plutarch to be sort of on par with Caesar Flickerman, with his ability to network and whatnot. I mean, he needs to be a likable guy. So I think I wouldn't even be surprised if they go for someone who's known more for doing comedy rather than doing drama, because this guy he's got to have really good timing.
I completely agree with you on the charisma thing. I mean, Plutarch is essentially, he's not a double agent, but he kind of is, because, he's the head game maker. He designs this clock arena. He is. He's like, Harold Hill in The Music Man. He's a total con man. So you have to have an actor who can do that convincingly. Someone who's, I kind of picture someone loud and boisterous, at least in the capital setting.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, who was that? Was that Ariel?
Yeah, that was me. Sorry.
Yeah, what were you going to say?
I was reading up on him, and, he's supposed to be, a decently seasoned member of, the committee, because it mentions that he had been, part of the rebellion for a long time. So I do believe that he should be, all cushy and spoiled and, charismatic and all that, but also that he should have some years to him, not old necessarily, but look like he's been there for a while. And I always just kind of imagined him as, maybe it's just the association with the pig and the apple, but I always imagined him to be overweight and, boisterous and, I don't know, a bit jolly.
Yeah. I agree.
Santa Claus.
He also has to be, in a way, this is going to sound kind of weird the way I'm going to put it, but he also has to sound in a way like this, because he doesn't see the he does, but he doesn't. It's like, I don't know, he has this ability he wants to step up against the Capitol, but yet he has this other side to him where he doesn't get, especially this is more into Mockingjay, where he just, he doesn't seem to understand the other side of things as much. What other, he still has that capital thinking when it comes to other people. He wants to step up against the government, but yet he also wants to still live a pampered, posh, life, and not see. It's almost like he's doing this not so much. It's still all ratings for him, even when you get to Mockingjay. So it's like, I don't want to say insensitive, but he's got to be able to portray almost clueless to other people's feelings in a way.
Yeah.
So just to be able to have that I don't want to call it a sweet stupidity, but it's like you sit there and watch. It's kind of like, in a way, Effie, how she is almost clueless as to what she's saying and how it affects other people. But deep down at the core, she's a decent person, and I think Plutarch's kind of the same way. You know, he kind of comes off as, you know, with what he's saying, not thinking before he speaks in some ways.
Right.
Any other thoughts on Plutarch?
If I can just chime in quickly, I think anytime you have a character who really doesn't have that much description in the book, it's a lot of fun to do the casting, and there's really such a wide range of actors who could play this role. So I'm really curious to see what direction they ultimately go in this case, maybe more than even some of the others, just because it might give you some indication as to how Francis Lawrence is looking to approach this film now that he's involved in the casting. So you may think Plutarch is kind of a lesser character, but I think he's pretty significant, and I think his casting, especially if Lawrence goes in the same direction that Ross did in terms of really playing up that capital angle, there's a good chance that Plutarch might get a lot of screen time in the second film. I'm not saying that's definitely going to happen, but
I saw a couple people tweeting concerned that Plutarch might be cut, but I don't think that that's possible because unlike Madge, I mean, he really plays a huge role in both Catching Fire and Mockingjay. I don't think it would be possible to cut him out, you know, because he is the leader of the rebellion essentially. So to get rid of him would just derail, I think, the final two movies or the final three movies.
Yeah. His name is so fun to say too. I just love his name, Plutarch Heavensby.